Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our leadership series, episode number 2. I am Andrew with TINYpulse.com. If you didn't check out our last episode with Randy Stocklin of One Click Ventures, be sure to check out the video where you can get a link to the full article. If you're new to the series, we're visiting with business leaders who invest in their most valuable resource, their people, and have reaped the benefits of having a great company culture and engaged team of employees. They're going to share with us some of the tips and techniques that you can take home and use in leveling up your leadership. If you like this video, please let us know in the comments below and be sure to subscribe so that you get the latest videos. And as always, visit the blog to get all of the info. Today, I'm here with Rochelle Reiter, agency principal at Orange Label Advertising based in Newport Beach, California, one of my favorite places on earth. Orange Label is a full-service advertising agency that provides seriously stunning advertising, marketing, and branding for a variety of organizations across the country. Check out their work at orangelabeladvertising.com. It's seriously a great material. And in true leadership warrior fashion, this summer they made the list of Orange County best places to work. Congratulations, Orange Label Advertising. Rochelle, it's fantastic to have you here on the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So I wanted to dive in quickly. Orange Label is known for the unconventional core value of the actual color orange. Can you tell us about that and why this is effective at building a great company culture?
Sure. So we rebranded our company in 2007 to Orange Label, and we really wanted to kind of tie back to Orange County's roots. So orange made sense for our name. In addition, the color orange represents vitality, creativity, determination, energy, and success. So we believe that this is really in all the behaviors of our team. And this characteristic and this behavior, each individual at our team exhibits a unique orange quality. So it's that extra unique specialness that each of our team members elicit, whether it be Micah, our designer, playing the guitar, or one of our team members cooking and baking special treats. We are all describably orange, which just shows how we behave in our environment as a team and a culture. Creativity, authenticity, joy, happiness, and vitality, all the representations of that color.
And so it seems to me that that's really about not only team building, but building community around the culture where people are spending, 8+ hours a day. Is that accurate?
Absolutely, yeah. So we do have a unique, we call it the Orange Label family here, and so it is very much like a family in a community. So on any given day, you have people bringing in baked goods. We'll have a cheese party in the office, everybody bringing their favorite type of cheese. That doesn't mean that we don't work hard too. We kind of have the motto of we work hard and play hard, and being with people we like is important with the same types of characteristics, and orange really represents that.
Terrific. And you've described your role as a leader that helps develop other leaders to realize their full potential. And I became incredibly fascinated by that. I wanted to ask you, when guiding someone to fulfill their talent potential, what is the North Star in your mind for helping them succeed? What's the number one thing going through your head when nurturing a leader or assessing their potential?
Yeah, well, we always like to talk to our team members about what their passions are. So we have them do an exercise where they look out in the future and describe what it's like if they're completely fulfilled and succeeding. So we really have this visioning exercise with each of our team members where they're looking out to the future, seeing what success looks like to them, so that we know and can help support them along the way. It's important to each of our partners. Debbie, Wes, and myself are 3 partners here at the agency, and we all have direct reports that we work with on a daily, monthly, quarterly basis to look at their vision, and we call it a vivid vision. We have a vivid vision for the company of where we want to be in 5 years and have milestones for that. And then we look at each individual's vivid vision of where they want to be personally in their career and see where the two of those can collaborate and combine to really make a successful business potential for Orange Label and development of that individual employee.
Sure. So it sounds like a much more healthy balance than, say, a more traditional company, in the sense that it's, well, what can you do for the company? What can you do for me as a manager? But really raising the level of personal investment in the individual, and enabling them to invest personally, really, in their career, at work, and contribute more overall.
Yeah, and we do, if the team member would like to share their personal goals, we talk to them about their personal goals as well. That's not mandatory, but we think that looking at everything from a holistic standpoint is helpful for us to know as leaders of the company of where someone's going and what their unique talents are and what their hot buttons and their desires are, so that we can find some meeting point between Orange Label's goals and the individual's goals.
Got it. And you mentioned a time frame of, say, mapping the vivid vision for an individual to the business's goals. How often would you recommend checking in and aligning on those goals, and how they map, how an individual may change over time, and as they progress? How often are you typically checking in?
So we have quarterly goals that are set and then annual goals, but we go on a monthly one-to-one lunch with our direct reports and team members to check in on the progress. So where they're a little bit longer in time frame, we're always in communication with the team, and some initiatives that require more interaction than that, there may be weekly meetings, but there's always an outcome sheet with this vivid vision, and there's tracking points to say, okay, where are we at? What are the resources? What are the strategies and tools that are missing for you to succeed on your path to success?
Terrific. And in terms of, I suppose, holding oneself accountable as a leader, that is a question that we often get on, as to how can I, as a leader, hold myself more accountable. Oftentimes, it can be lonely, when you are in a leadership position, where you have a much larger number of folks reporting to you. But how do you keep yourself accountable?
Well, I think as a company, as an ownership team, so we have strategic initiatives that we put forth every year to meet. One of them this past year has been, we would know that our team is happy if we won 2017 Best Places to Work. And so that was an indicator of our success as owners of the company, that we achieved that initiative of team and employee growth. The other initiatives, some are financial driven. So if we achieved our goals, then that is a measure of our success. If we're falling short, then that's the time where we need to go, oh, let's regroup and look in the mirror and see what else we could do to shake things up. What are the changes that need to be made to fulfill those objectives?
Got it. And we also talk to a lot of people, leaders who have perhaps started smaller, folks who are in startup organizations, and smaller organizations that are on their way to, on their journey to becoming like you. What are some of the learning resources that have helped you? Are there any particular experiences that you recommend that they try to better position themselves as leaders of highly engaged organizations?
So one of the organizations that we're involved in is called Vistage, and it's a worldwide organization of CEOs and key executives. And I've been in my group for about 17 years, and we meet once a month with a team of peers, and we go over business issues, personal issues, and then have speakers that come in and talk to us about real tactical things. Maybe it's marketing strategy or finance, but those meetings are when we can use outside resources to bring tools back to our company and work issues within our company. So Debbie, Wes, and I are all involved in Vistage, and then we have another member on the strategic leadership team that's also in Vistage. So we have found tremendous success from that. The other resources are sending team members to summits and conventions and things like that, where they can expand their knowledge and learning. We have a great employee reimbursement plan for people that want to get their MBA. We're huge on personal development, including things like TINYpulse in our processes and procedures has been one of the tools that we think has been consistently effective in hearing feedback from our team. So we're pretty open with our team, but sometimes, you know, those anonymous surveys and questions will pull out things we would have never heard of before. So we use the results from TINYpulse to get a sense of how happy our team is. And we'll send out the happiness question, and it tells us as leaders, oh, we've got some work to do, or there's something off. Maybe the workload is too high. Maybe there's a client in the mix that maybe shouldn't be there. And we really use that as a gauge.
Sure, and we thank you for that. And so what I'm hearing, and if I'm understanding correctly, you know, you do make a concerted effort to increase your learning when it comes to other people's ideas. For example, Vistage and an organization like that. How do you recommend people seek out resources like that? I mean, what's really the criteria for you as to, if I were to recommend to someone, hey, here's how I recommend learning about how to get better. You know, how can people find out about organizations like Vistage?
Well, I think online is a great resource. Googling professional groups, things like that. I'm also involved in Toastmasters, which anybody that's interested in learning how to improve their communication skills. The part that I like about that group, it's people from all walks of life, people that are learning English as a second language, executives, stay-at-home moms. It's just this group of people that's there together to better themselves. And that's what I love about it. It's there's just one purpose, and it's personal development. And we meet with my group every 2 weeks. But that's a tangent I went down. But in terms of criteria, so there's a lot of organizations out there that people can join to help further their career and help further their desires and wants and fulfillment as a person. Vistage and Toastmasters are those for me. But there's a lot of ways to ask and find out about those through your colleagues, through your peers, asking people what's a good group to be in, what has been effective for you. Because recommendations are really, I feel, personal recommendations are important.
Sure, and that definitely speaks to sometimes the difficulties one might have in just getting started, but certainly when it comes to selecting a learning resource, that's super helpful, since you know, sometimes it's hard to find out, well, you know, is this going to be helpful for me? Am I just doing this to tick another box on skills that I sort of want to have? It sounds good, but I don't really, I'm not really getting something out of it. So that's extremely helpful. Rochelle, I wanted to ask you before we wrap up here, you know, when we think about company culture and doing a lot of little things well to create this sense of community, create a sense of family, and especially at an organization like Orange Label, what kind of recommendation would you have for our viewers, you know, before they leave the office today? What's one thing that they can do to improve their company culture, even if it's super healthy or even if it's something that they're aspiring to improve?
I would say it's going around and asking team members how they could help support them in achieving their goals or vision. That question, I think that a lot of times that gets missed by leadership, that how can I help support you, versus the employee coming and saying, here's how I'm supporting you. It's the leadership team saying, how can we support you to make you successful? And I don't know that that's asked often enough. And so it could, at the very least, it's going to open up a conversation for self-expression and communication with that team member. And at the most, it can highlight a serious roadblock that team member is having that you may be able to help with. So what are the missing strategies and tools and resources that are needed to help you achieve your goals?
Terrific. So, I mean, with that, we're going to wrap up the video here. Thank you so much, Rochelle, for being with us on the show. For all you leadership warriors out there, be sure to follow Rochelle on Twitter, Rochelle at Rochelle Writer. Check out Orange Label at orangelabeladvertising.com, one of OCBJ's best places to work. They have an awesome blog on posts on everything from the customer decision-making process, email marketing, social media marketing, and even design theory. So I was thrilled to check that out. If you have questions for me that you'd like me to read on the show and ask our experts, send me over an email, Dear Andrew at tinypulse.com. And until next time, and as always, to happier employees.